Alright guys, so I'm here at Avalanche Harley-Davidson in Golden, Colorado for their demo days. Take a look at all these bikes. This is the third day I've been going through almost, I think I've hit pretty much all of them except two. And one I haven't taken out yet is this one. Take a look at this bright orange. It's like a Bronco bike. The Road Glide Special. That is a beautiful bike. And let me tell you, the Road Glides are definitely one of my favorites. So, all right, let's jump on it. Take it out for a spin. And the difference between a Road Glide and a Street Glide, you can tell by just the way the fairing is stable on this. So on the Road Glide, the fairing is actually attached to the frame. And on the Street Glide, it's attached to the forks, where it'll actually move with the forks, which is kind of interesting. If you're wondering how much this thing is, in Baja Orange, $28,749. All right, turn it on here. Hit the switch here. Make sure it's in neutral. I like to kind of rock it back and forth a little bit. Make sure it's in neutral. You can pull on the clutch if you want. You don't have to. And start it up. And one thing you have to watch on some of these bikes is I've noticed on some of them that you can start them with the kickstand down, which is kind of crazy. So you have to really be careful. If you start it up and the radio's on, I found out that it's this button right here that brings the volume down. A lot of these people are just cranking up the volume. So got a little bit of shake. Not too bad. Almost not quite like my Dyna. My Dyna is a rubber mounted engine. That thing really shakes when you're just kind of idling. It's got floorboards. Lifts my knees up pretty far up the bike here. Got a nice big thick brake pedal on the right. Wow. Another thing you have to watch on these is they're really top heavy. So when you pull up to a stop, you have to really be careful. And this guy's kind of angled right at that bike. I'm going to kind of move it a little bit so you don't take out the bike next to me. All right, so this is, we're not going with a group. We're going individually. So let's take it out for a ride here. Oh, yeah. So on these bikes, I'm actually 6'4", and it seems like on every single bike, I feel a little bit cramped, just because, especially with the floorboards, you got to bring your feet up so high with the floorboards. All right. But this one's not bad, actually. This one's pretty good. Out of all the bikes that I've ridden, I think the ones that fit me the best, being really tall like I am, are the Road Glides. There's a whole bunch of different Road Glides. As a matter of fact, I think this is the third Road Glide that I've taken out with all the different trims. And the Heritage Classic. The Heritage Classic really fits me as a tall rider. There's kind of pros and cons to each bike. I kind of like the Road Glide as far as the wind deflection. Seems like it has it depends on the Road Glide too, The last one I took out was awesome. All right, let's see what this thing can do. Ooh, nice sound. Yeah, very nice, very nice. So this feels like this is the 114 engine. Wow. Not bad for the 114. Feels like it might have an upgrade, like a stage 2 or something. I don't know. But I don't know. Sometimes when I get on the bike, it depends on what I was riding immediately before that bike. This one has some really good wind deflection. Sometimes the wind is really loud. Sometimes you get buffeting, really bad buffeting, where you can't even hardly see what's in front of you because it's bobbling your head around so much. This one I'm going 55. I can hear the wind, but it's not deafening like on some of them. Let's bring it up to 65. That's usually where I get the buffeting. It's pretty smooth. Not not bad going 65. I'd say almost perfect. And I am getting some air around me. A little bit of I think it's these holes. If you look at the kind of the holes down around the around the headlight that direct the air in, which is wonderful on a hot day like today. I was on the I can't remember what it was. I've ridden so many bikes, but there was one that was just like, you know, completely blocked with no wind coming in at all, and it blocked 100% of the wind, no buffeting. It was really nice. But the only thing is if you're riding and it's in a hot day, it is sweltering riding that bike with no wind at all. So I think it's awesome that they actually added a little bit of ventilation so you don't get overheated. And it doesn't seem like, even if you rode it in cold weather, I don't think you get froze out. It doesn't really look like you can close those vents, but I don't think they would really bother you. It's just the right amount of wind coming through those little vents right there. It's pretty awesome. I never really noticed those. I don't know if that's new for this year or what it is. Oh, we got a tractor in the road here. Yeah, this road's kind of tricky because stuff can kind of sneak up on you around these corners. Pretty good power. Pretty good. I love the sound. Oh, let's see, we're going almost 70. Kind of choppy wind a little bit, but not too bad. That's I'd say it's one of the best for the wind deflection. You know, if you get a little bit of buffeting too, a lot of times you can change the height on your windscreen. And especially for me, I could actually use one that's a little bit taller. One hand waves, no problem. Pulling up to a stop sign. I'm sure it's going to be kind of a challenge. See, not too bad. Usually, on these road glides, it's a little bit top heavy. I've noticed it's really even more top heavy if you have like the touring pack, the luggage rack on the back right behind the seat that kind of sticks up high, and then you have more weight up high, where it really kind of gives you more of a top heavy feel to the bike. And it's actually an advantage when you're going around corner to have it top heavy, because it kind of helps you lean in. It's almost an effortless lean around the corners. But when you come up to a stop sign, that's especially if you were in like bumper to bumper traffic. This is not the bike to have in bumper to bumper traffic. It's got lots of power, a great sound to it. I love the sound on this. It's got a nice deep roar, kind of like a poppy sound. And let me tell you, with the bright orange, you would never lose your bike in the parking lot. You can see this thing from a mile away. If you're going to a Bronco football game here in Colorado, this would be the bike. It's pretty awesome. Pretty bright orange. One of the brightest. It's almost like a fluorescent bright orange. It's pretty wild. The seat is very comfortable, super comfortable. I'd say this is probably one of the most comfortable seats I've ever been on. As far as road noise coming up through the bike, the vibration, you can feel a little bit coming up through the handlebar, but it's very minimal. And this road kind of has like a washboard effect to it. You can't even tell there's like a washboard on there. So handles high speed with ease. I feel very confident. There's like almost no fear factor. I'd say for a new rider, there's minimal fear factor on a bike like this compared to some. Yeah, I feel like I could just cruise on this all day. I love the sound. I'd say hands down, this, I don't know what it is about this exhaust on this particular road glide, what they actually did to it, but I'd say hands down best sounding exhaust straight from the factory. I'd buy it just for the exhaust note on it. So I'm usually kind of I'm almost scared to change the exhaust because sometimes you can get a lot of engine vibration, and sometimes you can get a loss of power. Even with a slip-on, a lot of times you can get a loss of power. All right, so this is where we're going to turn around here. We'll see how easy it is to turn around. Let's see. One thing you always want to watch too on these is if the handlebars hit your leg. And this one, there's actually clearance where it's not hitting my leg. So I was going to try to turn around here, but I've never seen this parking lot so full. This is really full. Wow. I don't know if I could actually turn around here. Well, I think we're just gonna have to go to the road here. Nice, nice. Oh, I love this bike. This is a pretty awesome bike. I think the thing I like about it the most is the sound. You get on a bike with the perfect sound that you really like, and there's nothing like it. It's really awesome. And it's hard, really, you know, depending on the bike and the exhaust. And I've seen a lot of people where they put on like a slip-on, and it kind of ruins the bike. It gives it, sometimes it's way too loud and the bike has way too much vibration, and it cuts down really cuts down on the power. And I've actually seen people sell bikes because they do something like, you know, do several things that end up hurting the performance of the bike, which is unfortunate. But this thing is awesome. One thing I wish, if I could change anything on this bike, it'd be that if I could put my feet down a little bit more. But, you know, this actually has crash bars, so I could actually put some highway pegs on the crash bars, which would be perfect because I could stretch my legs out. I wouldn't feel as cramped. Of course, I feel cramped on just about any bike. The only bike I really don't feel cramped on is the Pan America. That's kind of like a dirt bike, Harley-Davidson. It's not really a cruiser. I actually have a Fat Boy that I bought, a 2023, and I modified that with a different seat and the foot pegs on the crash bars, and man, it makes a world of difference. It's very comfortable. It's pretty nice. So would I buy this bike? As a matter of fact, I might buy this bike. This is the Road Glide Special. You know, I was actually looking at the Road King for a bit. I think I like this better than the Road King. Road Glide Special. I think this might be my next bike, or should I say it might be my third bike. I have two Harleys sitting in my garage. I have a 07 Dyno, which I love that bike. It's like all like a chopper kind of a bike. It has short shots on it. It's really super loud. And then I have my 2023 Fat Boy, which that thing's like a rocket. It's so fast. But I don't really have a good highway cruiser where, you know, something like this where you could just cruise all day on the highway. I don't know, I'm thinking maybe if you were to go 75 like on the freeway, you might get a little buffeting. Seems like at the high end when I'm going, you know, a little faster than 65, it gets a little choppy. I'd probably have to change the height of the top of the windscreen to kind of cut that down. And there's a huge difference on these road glides. I've actually seen some that are really short with the windscreen that give me a lot of buffeting, and I've seen some with the taller windscreen where it gives me no buffeting. All right, let's see what this thing can do. Oh yeah. Sweet. Yeah, I love this bike. It's awesome. I don't know if I'm a fan of the orange. I'd probably do like a blue, like a dark blue or a black. The orange takes a certain person to have an orange. Maybe if they knock the price down, I might take the orange. Or if I was like, you know, a die-hard football fan, you know, the Colorado football team is all orange. So I'm up here in the mountains of Colorado. It's absolutely beautiful. This is the third day of the demo rides. Pretty much doing the same route over and over with all these different bikes. And it's beautiful. It's like 80 degrees. Yesterday it was like 75. The first day I went out and I got hailed on. I got hailed on and I got completely soaked all the way to my underwear. Oh, I could not believe. Luckily it was like on my last ride. They shut the whole thing down right when it was like raining and hailing. So I got in quite a few rides, which is kind of nice. Boy, this is nice. Seat is super comfortable. Super comfortable. I feel maybe a little bit crunched, a little cramped, just because my legs are up a little too high for my taste on these floorboards. You know, another thing I did on my Fat Boys, I actually pulled the floorboards off because I do not like floorboards. And I put on pegs, and it's super easy. It's on like 2 bolts to replace them, and it makes a world of difference because you know, in this position, it's almost like your ankles get kind of fatigued being in the same position, whereas on pegs you can kind of move your feet around a little bit more. And it seems like the pegs are a little bit more forward than the floorboards. I guess it depends what you like. On these floorboards, it's nice because you can put your feet back, kind of on the back side of the floorboard, and you get a different position. I don't know. I'm more of a peg guy myself. I'll tell you one thing, this orange is pretty bold. Yeah, pretty bold. Everyone knows you're coming with this orange bike. I've never seen so many bikes on the road. I'm like waving every 5 seconds to all the bikes. It's pretty amazing. Oh yeah, this bike is awesome. Takes the corners with ease. Oh yeah, I think this is my new bike. My new #1 favorite. So I don't know what this guy's doing here, but I want to go. Road Glide Special. Wow, how much was this bike? I have to look at it. It actually has different prices for all the different colors. So depending on what color you get, it's more or less. I think the black is the cheapest. That's why I normally get a black bike, because you save a couple $1,000s. For me, you know, getting a new bike, it's not really worth a couple thousand to change the color. It's a nice bike. yeah. Such a great sound to this bike. I love the exhaust. I don't know if they're like slip-ons or if this is just the factory exhaust. All right, there you have it. That was an awesome ride. I didn't even want to stop. You know you got the right bike when you don't want to stop riding. I was surprised on this seat how comfortable it is. Wow. And it looks like, I don't know if those are slip-ons. That's an awesome bike right there. All right, that's one of my new favorites. Let's take a look at the price here. From 27, 28, 29. Cheapest is black, then it's orange. Bright billiard blue with billiard gray trim. Nice. That's probably what I'd get, maybe. Of course, they're 2,000 more. Yeah, that's 1,500 more for the blue. But that's an awesome bike. All right, there you have it. That is the 2023 Harley-Davidson Road Glide Special. All right, guys, thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.